International logistics is on the forefront of China's development plans since the announcement of the new Belt and Road Initiative, as well as the new International Land-Sea Trade Corridor. When Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Chongqing earlier in 2019, he proposed that Chongqing take a leading role in promoting the Belt and Road Initiative. Chongqing is located at the junction of the Belt and Road, the Yangtze River Economic Belt, and the new International Land-Sea Trade Corridor, all of which have their starting point in Chongqing. This gives the city a great advantage in operating its large-scale logistics network to transport goods from Chongqing to the rest of the world. Today, we are meeting with the Yuxingyou Pacific Multimodal Logistics Company, also known as YPL, an important enterprise taking part in the construction of the large logistics network. YPL is a joint venture between Chongqing and Singapore companies. One of the keystone projects of the YPL is the China-Europe Express Railway, transporting goods from Chongqing to Europe by train, now delivering their goods in less than half the time of traditional shipping routes. In today's episode, we are meeting with Dennis Young, a director of YPL, to talk about the company's establishment, future plans, and the benefits of the new trade route and the China-Europe Express Railway.
My name is Dennis Young, and I'm a Singaporean. Basically, now I'm working as in Chongqing with the JV company between Singapore and as well as China Chongqing. My position is Deputy General Manager. As far as I'm concerned, I'm taking a role, responsibility for this JV company.
So my first real question is, why did YPL get established here in Chongqing? What is the reason why you chose Chongqing to get established in?
Of course, this is the reason that initiates the JV of this company. Of course, thanks for the China government as well as Singapore government, where they chosen the third we call as 3G to G project, meaning to say it's a third government to government project. Leveraged by the China side as well as Singapore side to drop in Chongqing. So, and this is one of the very potential opportunity that we are able, as Singapore's enterprise, we are able to get a chance further collaborate with Chongqing reputable enterprise to leverage as far as multi-logistics is concerned in Chongqing.
Since YPL's establishment, how has the company helped to influence the logistics patterns that are in Chongqing and sort of go from Chongqing into Western China and further on into the world?
YPL has been setting up by the JV, leverage with the platform of Yuxingyou Rock Train from Chongqing to the west. And in fact, we have created a lot of innovative products such as LCO consolidation full box, meaning to say we help to consolidate a lot of less than a box shipments, so from everywhere, as well as in Chongqing, and we consolidate together inside our warehouse to form a box and build a box. Upon this spot, we will put on the Yuxingyou rail to Germans or Niders to Poland to do our distribution. So this itself it helped most of the company in China to ship out the less than a box shipment in a very low cost measured control, and as well as time effective, because compared to rail versus sea freights, rail is much more faster than sea freight, says about one third times,
YPL is also involved in new logistics projects aside from traditional container shipping. YPL is part of a pilot program between Chongqing that also allows them to move international mail through the express railway, and they are part of a new platform for cross-border e-commerce that has also made Chinese goods easier to access from Europe and the rest of the world. And of course, they are also a big part of the development of the new International Land-Sea Trade Corridor, a cross-government project between China and Singapore. So my next question is that here in Chongqing, Chongqing has been approved as one of the only cities in China that can deliver international mail through freight trains, which is a pilot project in Chongqing. Is that something that YPL is a part of, or something that helps further your business?
This is one of the breakthrough. As far as I'm concerned, or I understand, this is one of the first event that is dropping in Chongqing. and currently he has been moving regularly, weekly. So YPL now is actually finding a cooperations opportunity to further leverage with this small meal package projects, in this Chongqing market as well as out of the Chongqing province.
I've heard that YPL has established what's called a cross-border e-commerce platform that is sort of linking Chongqing with the other countries. Can you tell me more about that?
Sure, no problem. As we know, e-commerce cross-border between China and Europe, EU, as just now back to the conversation that we are discussing, e-commerce is also growing, and in fact, it's even growing greater than the GDP growth, as far as China and Europe is concerned. So basically, YPL is targeting on this logistic. At the same time, to enhance and embark the current logistic mode for this e-commerce cross-border trade, or overall of the pain point that they are actually encounter. So with the multimodal platform that what YPL have, we are actually extending the point-to-point services, including our our LCL consolidation board, to enhance and support them with the efficiency service as well as a cost measure.
So just now you mentioned the land sea trade corridor. I know that Singapore is an important part of that land sea trade corridor. How has that, between Chongqing and Singapore, how has that helped companies such as YPL and Singapore in general?
For YPL, actually, at the same time, as one of the shareholders from Singapore, in fact, we have received a lot of Singapore company who are really interested to explore more into this new land sea corridor. At the same time, for their products. So with this platform itself is able to shorten down their shipping time, whether making Singapore as a transshipment hub or neither towards to the trading of their products, because you have to bring out the turnover of the shipments. Time is always, for fast-running trading products, time is always money. With this help, I believe eventually you will give a lot of morale and encouragement to Singapore company, not even Singapore company, as a lot of ASEAN company making Singapore as a platform of the transshipment hub to fully utilize the advantage of these two platforms.
So we talked about the Yuxino railway that goes from China westwards to Europe, but there is another train line being formed that's coming from the south. How can you connect the railway going west to the one that's going to go south through Vietnam and down that way?
Yuxino is ever ready. In fact, they already planned and already launching another new port in Guoyuan Port. So with the combination of Guoyuan Port and rail station of Tuanjiechun, Guoyuan Port itself were adding as a support planner for all the what we call new land sea corridor in terms of railing river or neither to rail into the southern corridor passing through the ASEAN. This will be a vice versa way.
So obviously this train line goes through many different countries, and normally as you pass through one country to another, you would have to do a separate customs declaration for your goods. How does that work with a train line that travels through this many countries all at once?
First of all, Yuxino, before they initiate the route and the tracks to the Europe, they already have an agreement done between the different country custom. As far as it's concerns, agreement is being done. As far as it concerns, once the trains leave out from Chongqing, it already been custom have been decorated and inspected. So with this with these automations, customization in China, the train will allow is allowed to pass by through our China border of Alasanko with directly exchange of the wagons and container, as whereby most of the, in fact, all the country custom already been acknowledged and notified and pre-alert by the custom from the Chongqing.
So you're able to do the whole thing in one place before the train sets out?
Yes.
And then do the customs declarations for every single country?
Exactly. So once the custom done in China, with the initial agreement of the custom in different country, it will actually only passing through the border in terms of action in the wagon, wagon exchanging, and at the end of the day, you will pass through all the custom border to reach to our final terminal in Duisburg, Germany.
But moving goods between as many countries stretching from China to Germany is not an easy task in terms of customs. Traditionally, transport companies would have to file customs declarations for every country they are moving through, but the China-Europe Express Railway has put into use a more efficient system that allows all the paperwork to be filed in one place.